Have you ever felt like you're constantly walking on eggshells around someone? Like no matter what you say or do, it's never enough. Maybe you've even started to question your own reality, wondering if you're the problem when deep down something just doesn't feel right. Chances are you're dealing with a narcissist. And if that's the case, you know how draining, confusing, and emotionally exhausting it can be. The truth is, you can't change a narcissist, but you can learn to deal with them in a smarter way. In this episode, we're diving into 9 intelligent and practical strategies to handle narcissistic people without losing your sense of self. Whether it's a partner, a parent, a boss, or a friend, this is your moment to take back control. You are not crazy and you are not weak. You've just been caught in someone else's toxic pattern, and it's time to step out of it with clarity and confidence. Narcissists are masters of first impressions. They show up charming, confident, maybe even generous. They know how to mirror your desires, say the right things, and make you feel special, like you finally found someone who gets you. But what you're feeling isn't connection. It's manipulation dressed as magnetism. That honeymoon phase is the bait, and once you're hooked, the game changes. Fast. The shift is subtle at first. Suddenly they start questioning your memory of things. You find yourself apologizing more, defending yourself more, doubting yourself more. You feel like you're walking into every conversation already guilty. That's not normal. That's not passion, that's psychological erosion. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse emotional abuse with intensity. The red flags are always there. They just look like fireworks when you're starving for light. The smartest thing you can do is believe patterns, not promises. Narcissists don't have bad days. They have consistent cycles. Idealization, devaluation, and discard. The sooner you recognize the signs, constant blame shifting, love bombing, lack of empathy, emotional blackmail, the sooner you can pull yourself out before you're too deep. Don't wait for things to get better. Red flags don't fade over time. They become warning sirens you wished you listened to earlier. One of the easiest traps to fall into with a narcissist is the need to explain yourself. You think if you just say it the right way, they'll finally understand you. That if you're calm enough, detailed enough, patient enough, they'll finally see your side. But here's the brutal truth. They're not confused. They're controlling you. Narcissists don't want clarity. They want control. And the more you explain, the more power you hand over. They'll twist your words, reframe your intentions, and somehow turn your defense into another accusation. You start explaining your tone, your timing, even your facial expressions. Suddenly, it's not about the issue, it's about how you said it, when you said it, or whether you said it the right way. And every explanation becomes another way to corner you. It's a game, and the only way to win is not to play, so here's the smarter move. State your truth once, then stop. No justifying, no long monologues, no emotional essays. You don't owe a narcissist a perfect explanation to validate your experience. You owe yourself peace. And peace begins when you stop trying to be understood by someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. When you set a boundary with a narcissist, they will treat it like a personal attack. Suddenly you're selfish, too sensitive, or difficult to love. That's because narcissists don't respect limits, they test them. But here's the secret, a boundary is not an invitation to negotiate. It's a line drawn for you, not against them. And when you stop explaining your boundaries and start enforcing them, everything changes. Most people think setting boundaries means getting into arguments, defending yourself, or proving why your needs are valid. That's the trap. Narcissists want the drama because it keeps you emotionally entangled. They'll pull you into debates, accusations, and guilt trips. Anything to shift the focus away from your boundary and back onto their chaos. But the smart move isn't to fight. It's to hold the line calmly and walk away if they push it. Silence, not shouting, is where your power lives. A real boundary isn't loud, it's consistent. It sounds like, "That doesn't work for me. I'm not continuing this conversation. You don't get to speak to me that way." No explanation, no debate, just truth, delivered with steady energy. The more calmly you protect your space, the more control you take back. And the more a narcissist realizes they can't access you the way they used to. Narcissists feed off emotional reactions. The more you cry, argue, defend, or break down, the more control they feel. Why? Because your reaction proves they still have power over you. That's why detachment is your most underrated weapon. Not coldness, not cruelty, just calm, silent distance. It's the one thing a narcissist can't manipulate because it removes their favorite toy, your emotional energy. When you stop reacting, they start unraveling. You'll notice it. The sudden push for attention, the guilt trips, the fake concern, the anger. They'll throw everything at you to re-engage your emotions, to pull you back into their web. But detachment means you don't bite. You observe without absorbing. You listen without responding. You protect your peace like it's gold, because with narcissists, it absolutely is. Here's the truth most people miss. Detachment isn't about being heartless, it's about being smart. It's knowing that you don't owe access to someone who misuses it. The less available your emotions are, the more visible their manipulation becomes. And eventually, when the drama no longer gets a reaction, they're forced to face the one thing they fear most: irrelevance. At first, it feels like a dream. They shower you with attention, compliments, gifts, constant messages. They call you soulmate, say you're different, make promises they have no business making so early. It feels intense, electric, meant to be. But take a breath and ask yourself, is it love or is it strategy? Because real connection builds slowly. Love bombing rushes you into emotional debt before you've even taken a full look at who they really are. Narcissists use love bombing to hook you fast and deep. They skip trust building and go straight to forever. Why? Because they want to lock in your loyalty before their mask slips. Once you're attached, they start pulling away. The affection turns into silence. The praise into criticism. You'll start chasing the version of them they gave you at the beginning, hoping it'll come back. That version wasn't real. It was bait. So how do you protect yourself? Slow down. Don't mistake intensity for intimacy. Real love doesn't come with pressure or urgency. It comes with consistency. If someone's rushing you to commit, oversharing too fast, or making you feel like you owe them for their affection, that's not romance. It's manipulation. And the faster it starts, the harder it crashes. Stay alert, stay grounded, and most importantly, don't confuse being chosen with being respected. With narcissists, everything can become a trigger. A simple question turns into an accusation. A boundary becomes a betrayal. Even your silence gets weaponized. And what do you start doing? Tiptoeing, overthinking, apologizing for things you didn't even do. But here's the reality you need to hear. You are not responsible for someone else's emotional landmines, especially not when they've buried them on purpose. Narcissists are emotional time bombs looking for someone to blame when they explode. They want you to carry the weight of their moods, reactions, and insecurities so they never have to face them. But the moment you take ownership of their chaos, you become easy to control. They'll train you to anticipate their moods, adjust your behavior, and suppress your needs, all so they can stay comfortable. That's not compassion. That's self-abandonment. You are allowed to speak your truth, set limits, and exist without constantly managing someone else's emotions. Their triggers are their responsibility. Their healing is their responsibility. You can be kind without being controlled. And once you stop trying to keep the peace at the cost of your own peace, you take your power back, quietly but completely. A narcissist will never argue to understand you. They argue to dominate the conversation. They'll shift topics, twist your words, bring up things from 3 months ago, or accuse you of doing the very thing they're doing. It's not a conversation, it's a performance. And if you let them control the frame, you'll always end up confused, defensive, and exhausted. That's exactly what they want. Confusion gives them control, clarity takes it back. So here's the key: stay focused. Decide what the conversation is about and refuse to let them drag it into chaos. If you set a boundary, don't let them turn it into a debate about your tone. If you call out a lie, don't let them make it about your trust issues. Stay calm, stay sharp, and speak with short, clear statements. You don't have to win the argument, you have to own the direction. That's how you keep your power when everything else feels designed to take it. Not all narcissists throw tantrums. Some use cold, calculated tactics, gaslighting, silent treatment, reputation sabotage. And when things get serious, especially in work, legal, or family settings, you need more than emotional strength. You need proof. Keep records, save texts, write down what was said, when it was said, and how it made you feel. This isn't paranoia, it's protection. Because narcissists don't just rewrite reality, they expect you to forget it. Protecting yourself also means setting up emotional boundaries. Limit what you share, especially about your weaknesses, goals, or personal life. If they sense what matters most to you, they'll use it. Narcissists don't just attack directly, they manipulate strategically. So be strategic in return. You don't need to fight dirty, but you do need to be smart. Quiet preparation is sometimes the loudest power move you'll ever make. There comes a point where no boundary, no explanation, and no silence will protect you. Because the real danger isn't just the narcissist. It's the version of you that keeps trying to fix what's not yours to fix. You can't heal someone who benefits from staying broken. And you can't keep shrinking yourself to survive a relationship that's slowly suffocating your worth. Walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The most powerful moment in any toxic dynamic is when you stop asking, how can I make this work? And start asking, why am I still here? That shift changes everything. You reclaim your voice, your time, your peace. You stop hoping they'll change and start realizing you can. Not everyone deserves access to you, no matter how long they've had it. Sometimes the strongest thing you'll ever do is leave and not look back. You don't win by outplaying a narcissist, you win by stepping out of their game. Real power is quiet. It's in your boundaries, your detachment, and your decision to protect your peace over their approval. If any part of this episode hit home, drop a comment below. I want to hear your story, your moment of clarity, or what resonated with you most. And if you want more raw, real talk like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Your healing is your power, and it starts with truth.